What is fearlessness? Fearlessness is a type of phenomena which comes through practice, but total fearlessness is not wanted. Total fearlessness is very dangerous. If the person is totally fearless, he can be either a murderer, dacoit, or the thief, because that person cannot think of the practical implications of fearlessness, and he may not only put himself to the dangerous consequences but also to the whole society and the people who are in company of him. So, but fearlessness can be got through constant practice and planning, programming, and punctuality while doing work against the fear factor. Uh, the fear should be there, but it should have a lot of practical implications, and the person while preparing against the fear factor must be very practical to think about all the things related to the fear. He must not be totally fearless. Righteousness is also necessary if your conscience is sound and you are opposing the bad things. You cannot be fearful against them. You must stand fearless, like Mahatma Gandhi against the British rule in India, Nelson Mandela against the policy of apartheid in South Africa, and Martin Luther King in America. So, for uh, getting fear is the natural habit, and it may be with anyone, but to have a practice to remove the cause of the fear is greater even. So whenever the the people feel fear, like the students when they are going to write their question papers, their pen is wavering, their hands are shaking, and they are not able to put their 100% in the exam. In the same way, when we are going to deliver the speech, our hands are shaking, our body postures are moving, and we are not confident. It is because we haven't done a lot more practice to avoid. We haven't done a lot more speaking at the public places, and we haven't prepared ourselves while solving the question paper of last year exam. We haven't completed our syllabus on time, and we haven't practiced the question papers of the previous years. So as a result, when we are going to face the exam, the consequences are very high in our mind. Secondly, when we are greedy, when we want to at the top, when we want to be at the top, and we are not preparing for it, the fear is likely to come to us, because we think if we are not successful, then what will happen to us? So we must work hard, and we must not be feeling greedy. We can only leave the fruits or the result of our actions in the hands of the God, because by feeling greedy, we will only spoil our chances of success, and the fear will come, and we may be one sided at that moment. So, we have to not have a fear, and to remove the fear, we must not think of the consequences of our actions in a greedy way. We have to think consequences, we have to be practical, but we should not be greedy, because that greed and that fear of failure make us fear. So in Gita, Lord Krishna say, you can do only the action. Reward is not thy concern. Reward is not in your control. You can only practice. So for those students who are preparing for competitive exams, and for any exams, or they are preparing for debate or interview, they must not be fearing these things, but they should have the constant practice of these things to avoid the fear. And secondly, we can also resort to deep breathing exercise and drinking a lot more water. These things will open up mind and heart, and the people will become patient, and they will not allow fear to enter their heart. In the play Julius Caesar says, cowardice dies many times before their death. The valiant taste death but once. Here, Julius Caesar is totally oblivious to the fear factor. He is not regarding fear at any cost, and he considers himself brave. But here, he is not practical because he cannot see the impending murder which has been planned by the conspirators against him. So, this total fearlessness puts the person in danger, as I told you in the beginning of my speech. So, this total fearlessness is completely unwanted, and that should not come into the heart of a positive person. So, the fearlessness will come when you surrender before the God. You do all the things for success, but leave the fruits in the hands of the God, and you are, disinterested in the fruits, and you can only work to the best of your ability, and the chances of a life make you excited to work hard, not to fear, will cause you success. And this fearlessness will make you one of the best persons in your life, and the people will emulate you. So for feeling fearlessness, you must also be righteous, must not be taking the side of the wrong cause. In that way, your conscience will allow you to be fearless, and you will not be afraid of the bad people because you are taking the right side. For example, Mahatma Gandhi, he was right in opposing the British government, and practically he designed his means like civil disobedience, quit India movement, because he was trying to tell the truth, which the British government was not admitting. Finally, they had to admit, because the truth can never be conquered. You have to be truthful to be fearless. Thank you. If you like this speech, put your thumb on the like button and subscribe my channel.